Alrighty, so we're going to start playing with the Arduino sketch so that we can power those servos on the blinking goggles to work properly. Just a quick heads up, this is a DigiSpark. It's a tiny little Arduino powered thumb drive looking type deal. It requires some really funky servo libraries. Went back and forth, finally figured out what to do. So I don't know if you can see the actual code, but this is the original code, and it basically, and this is super standard, nothing crazy, it just includes a servo library to basically be able to use servo commands. And whenever I try to compile that for the DigiSpark board, it gives me all sorts of crazy errors. You'll see down here in a second. It has all this crazy, like, something with like library, blah, 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 a bunch of errors, and it would not work, okay? So what we figured out, so I'll go ahead and open a new sketch, and then I'll paste in the code that Chris sent me late last night. Chris, thank you, man, you were killing it. You're really quick to respond and change the new code. So this now includes a soft RC pulse out, and that is the library that is specific for, again, the DigiSpark to drive servos. Let's take a quick look at the stuff he sent. Servo pin 1, okay, refresh period now. So my servo dot attach servo pin, so we're gonna say pin 0 because I know that's a PWM output on the DigiSpark that I have, and then he also has that here. So okay, servo 1 is what he calls it, so we'll rename this from my servo to servo 1 to make that all work. Let's take a look. Now, do I need to redefine servo pin 1? And this is where I kind of like, I don't know how to code. I think, let's just try that. I think that should work. So the weird thing about the DigiSpark is it's not plugged in, it's right here. And I'll click upload the sketch and it asks me to save it. I'll save it to desktop, sure. And then you see down here, it says, okay, now plug in your DigiSpark. So you come over to the USB, you plug it in, and then it begins to actually load the code. Okay, so this seemed to work. I'm still not sure about the servo pin 1. Man, I wish I knew more about this. Let's just roll with it. Okay. So now I'm going to take the Arduino, or the DigiSpark, I'll unplug it, and we'll take it over to the bench, and we'll see if we can drive a servo with the sketch. And it should just be randomly. I guess y'all probably know this code way better than I do, but to kind of walk through it, it's basically, excuse me, setting up a servo to be used, and then it's saying pick a random interval between 1 second and 5 seconds. And delay the opening and closing of the servo. So it's going to be kind of blinking randomly between 1 and 5 seconds. Nothing too complicated, but you know, hey. Okay. So now we're back over here. So the screen that I'm streaming on my device is like completely black. I don't know.